Hello and welcome to Daily Art Fix. Let's do another painting session with acrylics. As you can see, again I have put whatever was left on my palette onto this paper and it's no longer blank, but I don't know. Let's work with this. So for today I am using the Winsor&Newton Galeria acrylics, which is a student or a studio grade acrylic. And for this for this plate I've chosen the cadmium yellow medium hue mixed in with a little bit of titanium white to improve the opacity, because as you can see I have this blue thing going on behind and the paper is no longer white. I've used my palette knife for a long time. Usually I mix with brushes, which is like a big no-no, but so today I tried to mix in with my palette knife. It makes sense because the brush otherwise gets really lumpy with too much paint in it, and also it probably damages the bristles. So I guess you can always improve upon a habit, even though if it is long formed and a bad habit. Okay, I'm going to change some bits in my reference because there is these yellow and white striped packets on this yellow table or the plate table, and I want to keep one of them and the other probably change it with something else. So I'm trying to get the angle of the table right from the reference. So the view for the reference is not the top view, but I'm not too fussed as of now because I would cut it out of the background later if I'm not happy with the angle. Like it shouldn't be a full complete round because I'm looking at a circle from an angle. So for the shadow I've used Payne's Gray with yellow ochre with a touch of Payne's Gray. So a very tiny amount of Payne's Gray. And it has been a trial and error because initially I tried to mix using primaries and I wasn't able to find it. So I just took an easier route, I guess. I can already tell that the shape of the plate, should I call it a plate or the tray? The plate tray is wrong because it should extend beyond this second cup. So it's easier to see a shape when in comparison to other shapes versus in isolation. It's difficult to picture it in isolation. See, already my background is kind of covered up. I don't mind this kind of random colors in the background. It kind of makes it less intentional and the foreground more intentional, which I'm kind of experimenting with. And I have a problem with wasting leftover paint on my palette, and acrylics, as you know, they dry up, can't be stored. So once you squeeze them out of the tube, you need to use them. And I know there are wet palettes and all that, but I don't know for how long they actually last in them. So this is a new thing I'm trying out, where I just splash on whatever colors are remaining onto a page, and since it's a sketchbook, it doesn't really matter. So in the reference there are two teas, one is a milk tea and one is a black tea. So you like milk in your tea? Yep. I'm not a big milk person. So I love milk products, but not milk. So, so there's only one specific type of tea I'll put milk in. Everything else is black. And I'm very fussy about how much milk is there in the tea. Is this a good color for milk tea? Shippa. For the blue, I'm using ultramarine with a touch of Payne's Grey. Payne's Grey is slowly becoming my favorite mixing color, and probably to use it on its own too, for night sky. And I'm trying to use just one brush. Let's see how that goes. It's much more relaxing if you don't have to fuss with brushes and everything. Just pick one good brush. Just get on with it. There are a lot of interruptions today at my place, so which is good in a way, because normally I don't take a break and look at my work and see where it's going. I'm too like zoomed in and like focused. But taking a step back and looking at your own work, it helps to get some perspective. I'm wondering whether I should draw the forks. There are two forks in the reference photo. I'm thinking whether to skip it or put it in. Anyway, since I too late, I already put in the paint. Maybe you can do one fork instead of two. Let me know if you prefer like a silent video with just music on, or I can anyway blabber and you can mute if you want to. Sometimes I really don't know what to talk about. Also, do let me know if you prefer a real-time video or a bit more sped up, because yeah, so it'd be great if you could let me know. Also, I think the scale is a bit off. It should probably started too low on the page. I'm still trying to think what should I draw in place of the second packet. think I should let this layer dry a bit before I go over. There's some writing on the packet which I probably would skip and just put maybe some blue design on it. Managed to write something. I don't think it's very legible. Let's make some other design, but the writing is really small. Now when I'm looking closer at the image, I can see a bit of red tone shadows. So I'm going to add them in. They're very little, but I think it makes a difference. So here I can see some orange tones. And here. Okay, so I've decided to draw a palmier, which was inside the packet. So it kind of goes with the tea. So let's go for it. The shape was very different from the normal store-bought palmier, so I can't remember the shape well. So tried to look it up, I couldn't find it. So let's go with the generic palmier. Run out of table space.